see what happens here. Nope, that's not the one I want. Okay, I want this one up here. I am going to have to look up. Okay, there we go. All right, so we are live, I hope. And I'm just fooling around here with stuff, trying to get myself set up so I can see what's going on. Okay, that one works there. Oh, technology, when it works, it's wonderful. When it's, and it is working, it's just me. Okay, I gotta get the right things here. Okay, let me get this one so I can see. Oops, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing now. That's not what I wanted you to see.
Well, while Steven's doing that, I'll say hello to everybody, and everybody's saying how cold it is. It is a chilly morning this morning.
It is. It is very chilly. Okay, I think I've got this happening. Okay, yeah, all right. Don't mind me, people. So, who is here? We've got, let me scroll up here to see. We've got Marla is here, and Faith, Priscilla, Heidi, Diane. I said Priscilla, right? Katie Crafts. Dana is here. Already retracted a message. She was probably making some kind of nasty comment to me. And Fabric Crafts by DJ. Sue Norfleet is here. Marchan. Yeah, Dana's back with 22 degrees C in Regina. Well, it's minus 13 here in Ontario, Dana, so we're all having a cold one.
Yeah.
Pamela. Oh, yeah, then there's always Diana. 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny here today. She's in, I think she's in Bermuda or Bahamas, one or the other. I get the bees mixed up.
Bermuda? Yeah, I think. Yep.
And Karen Cox is here. Still cold in southern Ontario or southern Ohio. And 62 in Florida.
Yep.
Just got home from the indoor pool. Suck.
Oh, that hurts.
Suck. Balloonist is here.
Hi, Mona.
So it looks like we've got lots of people here. This one's not going to be very long today because we don't have that much to say, but we do have things to show as well. And you've sent in your progress. So there's Ron and Lucy's here. So I guess we can get started. So let me just switch over to get our slideshow up here so everybody can
see. Jeffrey Horn popped in. Good morning. He said he's iced in this morning in Tennessee. Ooh.
Oh. Okay. Well, welcome to winter.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I think should be able to see this.
Well, I got a message yesterday from a couple from Moda Fabrics down in, they said they're closed because of the ice storm. So it must have gone across the southern United States.
Yeah. Where's Moda located?
They're in Dallas, Texas.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay, so are we seeing our first, should be coming up here now. There's a bit of a delay for my system. Here we go.
Yeah, you guys should I can see it on the YouTube.
Okay, great. All right, so here we go. These are works in progress, of course, and a lot of you have gotten the top pretty much finished. So this is Priscilla's, and it's coming along really nice. Nice, not a color combination I would have picked out of my color wheel, but it's working really well.
Yep.
With this.
She's got the darks there to make the points, so that's great.
So you can definitely see her stars in there, so that's good. And now we have, this is Ron. Ron said he was going to do it all in solids, and he did. And you can see that this pattern works very well with solids, too. Lots of negative space there for you, Ron, to quilt in, though.
The picture for us has not flipped yet. Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay, sorry. Here you go.
That's all right.
So no, that's right. Ron's. Yep. Major delay here today.
Looks great.
Yeah, it does. That really.
I love all those blues in his. Of course, you know I love blue. So.
And I love the way he put the color blocks in for the center star, because that your eyes go right to that, and then you go out and you go, oh look, more stars. So that's great.
Awesome.
Our next one that'll come up here in a second is Celie Rogers. And we're just waiting for that to pop up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Things are slow today. I don't know. I don't know
It's the
why.
cold. They're sleeping.
I guess so. There we go.
There we go.
Okay, so this is Celie Rogers, and she's
Very nice.
laying hers out on her design wall.
Yeah.
Very pretty, very spring-like, I think,
Oh yeah.
in the color
I like
combination.
that a lot.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nice, fun spring quilt.
Yeah, that's going to look great. Now it'll take another second here or two, but our next one, actually the next two, are March Ann. She sent us two of these, March Ann Beal, and just two configurations, I think. Here it is. Sorry,
Ooh.
I can't blow that up any bigger because that's the size it came to me in, but I think you still get an idea of it.
Yeah, I like that each star is a different colorway.
Yeah, you can definitely see the quadrants in
Yeah.
this. But you see, you compare that to what Ron did. Ron's center star stands out in his, the way he's got it laid out. And here you can see very distinctly the 4 stars. And then you can sort of see the star in the center, which is, so this pattern may be very simple, but depending on what you pick for fabrics and the way you lay it out. And here's another view of it.
Yeah, between Ron's quilt and this quilt, they look very different, even though they're the same pattern, just because of the way they did the fabrics. And that's really cool. Like you said, this one, you can see the individual stars, and his looks like sort of a big exploding star. So
yeah,
really neat. I'm so excited. Thank you guys for sharing, because this is why I wanted to see them.
yeah, because now I'm thinking, maybe I should make another one. But,
Yeah.
and that's always a possibility. So that was March Ann's 2 pictures. Next one coming up is going to be Sue Norfleet. And Sue has 1 quadrant done. It'll come up here in a second for you all.
Kathleen Coville came in. She said, hi, still sewing and ripping the first quadrant. Oh, bless your heart.
So here's Sue's.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
With it. So, yeah. And you see, definitely in this one, you can see too, you've got the dark points and you've got the light background, and that does make your stars really pop out.
Yes, I really like that.
And
very good.
Let's see. Next up, I think this is this is Cheryl Curley's. At first I thought it was another one from Celie, but Cheryl also used the blues in this as well. But you can see her star really pops out too as well.
Yes.
With those light
and
backgrounds.
I like that orange accent. That's nice.
Yeah, well, now I wonder if Cheryl's going to continue putting into those corners that will come up with the orange, because that's going to give a really neat diamond shape in the center of her quilt if they're all the same color.
Yeah.
I didn't use the same color in those corner pieces. In some ways, I kind of wish I had now.
Yeah, I really like that orange.
And
very nice.
Our next one is from Paula. And Paula's got multicolors. It should be up here in a second for you, before I say anything more about it. And here it should come.
Ron said needs borders for sure. Yes, we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes after we look at these.
Yep. We're going to talk about finishing techniques. Yeah, now,
very colorful. That's cool.
And this is a mixture of, like, they're all prints, but they read, some of them read as solids.
Yeah, they do. I thought they were solids.
Which works really well because you can definitely see the stars in this.
Yes.
So that's great. That I did say it was Paula's. Yes, Paula's.
Yeah, very cool. And Cheryl said, yes, the orange will be in the center of all of hers. Awesome.
Oh, okay. That'll look great.
That's going to look awesome.
And our next one that's coming up is from Faith. And she's got 1 quadrant done. And it's just coming up now. Here it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Pretty.
Like
the purple.
Yeah, the purples. I really like that. But I like the prints in the points. Like, she's all prints, but the darker prints, again, accenting the star very nicely. With that,
yeah.
That's going to look great.
Great job. Y'all picked some great fabric.
Yeah. In the next one, we have 2 feet. You'll see what I mean in a second. Honestly, I think it was because of the way Heidi was taking the picture. She had to stand
Oh,
up above it. I know the feeling. I have to do that at times too. So here it
yeah.
is. And
Oh, I love the color though.
yeah,
And great feet, by the way.
yeah, yeah, nice feet. Actually, the slippers almost coordinate with the quilt.
Yeah.
Was that done on purpose? I don't know. Now this is
No, I really like it though. That's really nice. I
yeah,
really love the color.
and the gray in the corner piece. That's going to be very interesting if you do that in each one of the corner pieces, because
Yep.
that's a color combination I don't, at least I don't think about. Grays into the more of the reds, but it works.
That's Ohio State colors. So she's making me a quilt.
Ah, I get it. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Um, and this is a close up, I believe, of Heidi's as well. Did I say last one was Heidi's, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Heidi sent 2 pictures, and this is a close up, and she's very proud, and she should be, of her points, because
Yes.
she has her points here. Here it comes. There you go. You can see.
Oh, they look good.
Yeah, great
Awesome,
points.
awesome.
Because when I first started quilting, yeah, half square triangles and that, and anything with points, I cut off all my points.
Yeah.
I think
We all
everybody
do at
does.
the beginning.
Yeah.
Heidi said, LOL, my feet. Priscilla, who's also from Ohio, said, Ohio State.
Yeah, so the colors of that. Now, the next one is from Pamela. Come up here in a
Good
second.
morning, Karen Campbell popped in.
Oh, hi, Karen. Hi, everybody. I'm not ignoring you people, okay? Jeannie's here,
No,
too.
that's okay. I'm watching the chat for us because he's doing the pictures. So
I'm trying to get these to come up properly. Here we go.
Yeah.
So I said this is Pamela. She's got 2 of her quadrants done.
Ooh,
And this
love
is
it. She's got the orange too.
yeah. And this is really fun with the prints, the way they're coming up,
Yes.
with all the school prints. That's going to look really great.
Love it.
Love that one too.
That looks great.
And our last one is from Julie. Julie, is it Y or we?
I think so.
W-I? Anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
Julie, if I'm not saying your last name correctly. But this is Julie's, and you can see she's got her top all done. I love the black in this.
Yeah.
And the orange. Although it's not Halloween, like the fabrics, it reminds me of a sort of Halloweenish kind of look to it.
Well, she sent me this picture and told me that she had used some Halloween fabric, but it wasn't like the Halloween that you think of with like pumpkins and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was the colors. So
Which
Yeah.
makes it very versatile, because if you want to use this, have it out like in the fall as well,
Yeah.
you can get away with that too. Well, you can get away with
Yeah.
a quilt any time of the year, no matter what.
That's right.
So I'm just going to switch us back here to...
Very nice, everybody. Thank you guys so much for sharing.
Oh, and I might as well share now, and I know you've got your top done as well, but I've got mine on the slideshow here, so I'll just switch over to mine. I did add borders to mine. We'll talk a little bit about that, but just so you have a feeling for what it looks like. It should come up here in a second.
Good morning, Colleen.
And
Good morning, Patricia.
there it is. So there's what mine's looking like.
Oh, I love yours. You know, I love those colors.
But after seeing everybody else's, if I was to redo this, I would do this slightly differently. And I made a mistake. It would not be one of my quilts if there wasn't. And I'm going to point it out to you. See the bottom red star, and you see the center things? I got something screwed around, because if you notice, like here, I did sort of grays, and I did a light gray, and they're diagonally across or opposite each other. This one should have been that, but it didn't happen. The lighter one should have been up here, and the darker one should have been down here. But
gosh, I wouldn't even noticed that until you said it, though.
Well, I didn't notice it until I got the borders on it. I'm not taking it apart. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's somewhat subtle. I haven't shown it to Walter yet. He will find this mistake. So we'll take, I know you've got yours up on your design wall, so we'll just get...
You should quilt it first and then see if he sees it.
Yeah, yeah, that's an idea. It's a challenge for him. So you've got yours up. It should come up here on the screen here in a second. We should come back up and let's go for it. There we are. There we are.
Yep.
And let me pin you
I'll
here
move a
too
little
so we
bit.
can see this a little bit better.
There we go.
Okay.
I'll
that
move
should
out of the
come-
way a little bit. So there's mine. It's greens and purples, and yeah, I really like how it came out. It's got a lot of white space though, so Stephen and I were talking about how we're going to finish these.
Yeah. So yeah, I love your color scheme though. You
Thank
really
you.
inspired me using the green with the purple.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never done it. Now I've got 2 quilts now that I've already put it into, or a quilt and a table runner that I've done that with. So I'll take.
I've wanted to do a green and purple quilt for a long time, so I'm really glad that I decided on these fabrics. Remember, I had those 2 sets at the beginning?
Yes. Yes.
The other set, I really loved that fabric, and I almost went there. But because you did the first one and you're like, you really need a lot of contrast, I switched to this one. And I'm really glad I did. So thank you for, telling me that.
Yeah. Well, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything that I tell you has usually been an accident. So that's why I'm
Well, we let you make all the idiot moves.
Yep.
So we can do it right.
And that's fine. That's just fine. If I can help you out in that way,
As your name implies.
not a problem. Yeah, exactly. So now I thought we could talk maybe a little bit about finishing techniques. So you've seen that I've added borders. Are you going to put borders on yours?
I am. I have the background, the cream background. I'm going to do a 1.5-inch skinny border all the way around, just to sort of stop the stars, the color. And then I'm going to take one of the purples that I have some yardage for and add a wider border. So probably about a 3.5-inch border.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I put on mine, I did a 1.5-inch on the inner border and I did a 2.5-inch on the outside. And when I come to thinking about how wide my borders are going to be, I usually lean towards 2.5 or 3.5-inch borders for the outer borders, only because I have an AccuQuilt dies that'll cut them that way.
Oh, there you go.
So, yeah, that's why I do it. But, I mean, you can have them any size you want. And I suppose, too,
Yeah.
if you're trying to make it a specific size for, you're going to put it on a bed or something, well, borders are a way to make it a little larger if you need that extra, for the drop or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's up to everybody here whether they want. The instructions in the pattern did not call for a border, but I think it looks unfinished without a border, in my opinion. I mean,
There are some quilts that can get away without a border, but this one I feel like needs it. So
yeah. And if you wanted your stars to float, you could use a border that's the same color as your background materials. So that could be very effective as well. And there's some people here mentioning what they're going to do. March Ann says hers is coming out really big. It's taking up almost my whole design wall. Yeah, it is a fairly good sized quilt.
Yeah, if you see mine, that's the whole width of my design wall.
Yeah.
So it took up the whole thing. I didn't think it was going to actually stay. So
well, I got to the point where I couldn't lay it all out on my design wall. It was filling it up too much, but I only have a small design wall, so I had to lay it out on the floor, as you saw in the picture I took.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was really surprised that it's coming out. I mean, I shouldn't have been. It told you that in the instructions. I think it basically came out to what, 72 inches by 72 inches without borders?
Yeah, without borders. So it's a good sized quilt, which I'm
Yeah.
kind of excited about because I've got a lot of throw quilts, honestly.
Yeah.
And so that's another reason I decided before Steve and I even talked to add borders, because I don't want another just small quilt. I wanted it a little bit bigger. So yeah.
Yeah. That's, well, I did too, but I just think borders, for me, borders always finish off a quilt, whatever you do with it. Now, I suppose if I want to get really fancy, I could have done mitered corners for the borders, but no. I didn't feel like I wanted to put that effort in
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah.
Because they're not hard, but I find them awkward because I have to lay it out on the floor and fold the quilt over diagonally and then mark it. And yeah, it's a little too much work at times. Priscilla says hers hangs over the side of a queen bed.
Nice.
And Karen uses her AccuQuilt for borders also. Yep. And yeah, other people seem to like the idea. So there you go, people. If you want a border, you know what you want to do then, or what you want to use for it. Now we
Yep.
come to the point where when your top is done, you got your borders on. How are you going to quilt it? So what are you going to
Hmm.
do, Stephanie?
So I have a lot of florals in my quilt, and I'll probably use a cream thread um, because the background's
Hmm.
cream. But there's pansies in this quilt, and I really love pansies. So I might try to find a pansy floral pantograph, but I'm going to do it quite densely because this quilt has so much negative
Mhm.
space. I feel like I need to fill this up a bit. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you about the negative space and the density. I was thinking too, finding a pattern that's fairly dense because there is a lot of space to fill up on here. And I'm thinking, okay, so I've got angles and all of this and straight lines, so I want to find something that's kind of curly, swirly kind of thing. And in my mind, I was thinking what might be kind of cool if I can find a design like this that has stars but with swirls coming out of them or around them. So I'm sort of picking up the star
Ah,
motif, but at the same time softening it with curves. I don't know. I have to go on to Urban Elements and see if I can find something like that and buy one and download it to my machine because I know I don't have one on my quilt path right now for that.
yeah.
And I'm thinking about using a variegated thread with it
Oh, that would look really nice.
because
Yeah.
because variegated threads, unless you've got a lot of light background spacing or negative space, oftentimes you don't see the variegated thread. So I think this is an opportunity to play a little bit with that. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And Walter had bought me, when was it, last year, my birthday or something? He bought me a whole bunch of variegated glide threads. So which I have not used yet. So I'm dying to use
Ooh,
them.
I love a variegated thread. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see that. That's one of my favorite things to play with.
So I'm hoping to get mine onto Lucy in the next day or two and maybe have something to show everybody next week. No promises on that because I've got a bunch of other things happening this week too that may take me away from it. I know pretty much for sure, unless I'm burning the midnight oil, it won't, if I get it quilted, it will not be bound for next week.
Yeah. Oh no, mine won't either.
No, but never say never. So who
Yeah.
knows with that?
Priscilla said, get out the checkbook and send it to the long armor. That's how she's going to quilt it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Cheryl says to check out my creative stitches for designs. Oh, that's a new one. I didn't know about that one.
They're one
Thanks.
of my favorites.
Are they?
They have a $5 pattern every week. They release a new pattern and it's $5 until the next one comes out.
Oh,
And their designs stitch out so well. You never have to worry, is it going to stitch out okay or not? So,
okay. I'll definitely go to them later today and check them out for designs. Thanks, Cheryl, for that information.
yeah.
Comets and star quilt pattern, Ron says. That
Oh,
would be interesting. That would be,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, lots of possibilities here.
And that
Heidi,
would look really cool with variegated thread.
it would.
Yeah.
Especially got one with a comet with the tails. I'm picturing this in my mind now. Oh, you're
Yeah.
evil, Ron. You just gave me more stuff to think about. You will immobilize me with all the ideas now. Heidi says she's tempted to add a border in my background color so the stars float. If I want the finished shape to be more rectangular, can I make the border thicker on top and bottom? Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course you
Yep.
can. You can do anything you want with it. You could even, if you're able to, you with a wider border at the top and the bottom, you could do a customized quilting design across
Yeah.
both that too, which would look really, I think, kind of cool.
That'd be neat. Yeah.
So how many
Yeah.
people are going to be trying to quilt this on their domestic? And you have my greatest
Um,
admiration.
I know Pamela said in the hoop quilting on my Bernina, girl,
Mm.
hands down to you. Like that's amazing.
I tried that with my Janome embroidery machine in the hoop, and I made it work, but I found it really, really time consuming. So good. If you've done this before and had success, go for it. I mean, I had
Yeah.
success.
That's
I just didn't
awesome.
like doing it.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Um, Anything else here I've missed?
Martin said, not me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hear you, girl. I throw everything on my long arm. I don't care if it's a table runner up to a big quilt. Like, I don't hand quilt anything.
Yeah. Me neither. Everything goes on the
Or
long arm.
even, yeah.
Sue
The only thing I
says,
do on my domestic anymore is if I'm making like a zipper pouch and I just do straight line quilting. But
I like the modern vibe of no borders for mine. I'm going to do a scrappy binding using all the fabric I've wrote from the stars. That's a good
ooh,
idea.
that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now the gears are spinning again. I
Mhm.
did think for the border of doing a piano key border with all the leftovers, right? From
Yeah.
this too. I thought about it. I
Thought
didn't do
about it.
it
Yeah.
because I mean, well, that takes a while, to do. And then,
It would look really nice though. But yeah,
yeah,
it's a little fussy.
yeah. But actually, what would look good too is if for anybody who wanted to make it more of a rectangle, doing a piano key border at the top and the bottom only, that would
Yes.
look really good. So,
That would look nice.
see,
They could
endless
do a
possibilities.
skinnier border on the sides and then a
Yeah.
piano key on the top and bottom that are longer. So yeah, that would look really good.
And something about the skinnier border on the inside, it looks like a flange, but
Yes.
it's not. Flanges aren't difficult, but what I find with the flange is you got to be careful when you're putting it on a long arm. That,
Yes.
it doesn't kind of get up over your foot and then, oh my God, ask me how I know that. Yeah. So
I learned that one real early in my long arm.
yeah. So I do a full flange, just a skinnier strip on
Yeah.
it. And, I don't understand the point of a flange anyways, really, when it's not really all sewn down. Like, why?
Yeah.
Because it looks the same when you use just a skinny border.
The flange binding makes sense to me, but I don't understand it
Yeah,
in the.
in a
I
border.
had somebody do one in the middle of a quilt, like surrounding a block, and I was like,
Yeah, and it just gives a pain in the butt when you're trying to
Yeah.
long arm it too. Let's see, just seeing what Jeannie says. I think several strip dies are available for this small Acu quilt. Yeah, I'm not sure because I have the large one, so I'm not sure what they have available. But I think you're right, Jeannie. And Heidi says she's only ever done machine quilting on crib quilts. Wrestling the fabric gets maddening, so mine will get hand. Yeah, for sure it does. It's a lot of weight. You don't think that this fabric really is going to weigh that much, but when you've got it layered with the batting and all that threading into it, yeah, it's a lot.
oh
weight.
yeah, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
She said she finds the stitching relaxing. That's good.
That's good.
I don't. That stresses me out.
Sherlock says that you could always add, like we said, the flange with the binding. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
If you want.
I love a flange binding. So pretty.
Yeah, Marchand says I don't hand sew my binding, and a flange binding I can do by machine. Yeah.
Yep.
And I've done that as well to it. But again, that's one of those things that's like mitered borders, mitered border corners. Yeah, say that fast 5 times. And flanges and bindings. By the time I get to that stage, I'm going, do I really want to do this? I want this over with, kind of a thing. I want to move on to the next project. My attention span is not great. So for next week, homework.
Yep.
Finish it.
Finish your quilt.
if you can. No pressure. And again, send your pictures of whatever stage you're at to us again, and I will put together the slideshow. And next week, we won't have that much to talk about after we look at everybody's. But I guess we'll have to plan when we're going to have the final version done for a trunk show. So we'll talk about that next week and see how much time we should really allot for people to do that. And yeah, this project's not taking us long. This is our 4th session?
Yeah.
So our 4th week.
a lot of people are already done with their top. We're getting done with them. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's going really quick. A lot faster than Steve and I initially
Yeah.
thought looking at the pattern.
Yeah, we
But
planned
once
this
we
for
actually
6
got
weeks.
into the pattern and dissected it a little bit and saw that there was better ways to do it,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing.
it went pretty fast.
Cheryl says, what day do you need the photos? Well, if it's progress full photos for whatever you got done, before next week, before next Wednesday. I would prefer them to come in not on the Wednesday. And I think everybody did that this week, which was great because then I'm scrambling, trying to make sure I get everybody in. So if they come in, sometime, even if it's like midnight, the Tuesday night or whatever, when I get up in the morning, it gives me enough time to take those ones that came in during the night up. But if they come up while I'm sitting here, like you send them over at 9 o'clock, at 8 o'clock Eastern time or something like that, chances are it's going to be too late for me to get it included in the show. So yeah, and we'll decide next week when we want to have the big reveal of everybody's absolutely complete at quilt. And I know for some people, that may take a long time, and that's fine, because if we set a date and you're still not ready for that date, no pressure. You can always send them off to me later, and I'll put them up on a special edition of the Idiot Quilter or over on Stephanie's site to see them later. So not to worry. This is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be pressure.
Yeah. And Stephen does like to feature your guys' quilts on his Idiot Quilter blog. So you could always send them to him and he can put them on there too. So
yep, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
On that. And Colleen says of So in chat folks have great ideas. There's always a lot of creativity to see in the chat boxes. I love you guys sharing all these photos too. Well, that's great. Thank you, Colleen. We love looking at them too. And
yes,
it just gives me multiple ideas. Like I said, I'm almost tempted to do another version of this with all the ideas that are here. So
yes,
almost tempted. I have other projects. I want to get to. Okay, so that information about what we talked about for tips and about the homework and that is in the show notes for this. For any of you that will be watching this as a rebroadcast, you'll find that all in the show notes. And yeah, just take a check and see if anybody's got any questions before we say goodbye. So anybody got anything that they would like us to answer or talk about or discuss? And I'm just giving it a couple of seconds here because I know there's a delay.
Yeah. Well, my one question for people and Stephen, really, because I haven't said anything to him, is did you guys like doing this with us? If you did, would you want us to do it again in the future? I mean, we had fun.
Yeah, we had fun. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and then we'll know from that. Cheryl says you could do one with 6-inch squares. Yes, you could. You could do it with any size square, really, this pattern. Pamela says, I'd like to hear where folks get their quilting design inspiration.
Gotcha.
That would make an interesting topic for my So Chatty with Walter.
It would. You're looking for topics.
Yeah, and I'm looking for topics. So if you guys want to, you can put in the show notes below, in the comment section below, or send me an email with answering Pamela's question, and I'll be happy to put that up and feature that on Friday's So Chatty. Because right now I haven't got any ideas. I'm running out on this. And if you
I think that's a great idea.
And if you guys don't really want to watch, Walter and I stare at each other for 45 minutes, do you? Or maybe you do.
I don't know. The looks on his face make it all the worth it.
I know. Actually, I set up that Nightbot thing and I put in a little special thing that Walter doesn't know about that says something to the effect, and Walter silently giggles to himself. I'm waiting to use that one.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Kathleen's loving the so long. Great. And Balloonist says, yes, maybe next time I'll be able to participate. Well, yeah, sure. That's fine. And, this was open to anybody, even if you didn't do it, but you just wanted to be part of the live. It was open for everybody, so that was fine. Heidi says, thank you so much, Stephen and Stephanie. I enjoyed this because I've always sewn and learned alone with books and tutorials. This has given me such a sense of community. Well, that's great.
Awesome.
Jeannie says she hopes there's many more. And Marchand says she doesn't belong to a guild, so it's nice to be working with other people. Well, people, this is a great segue into what's coming up later today on my channel.
Yes.
It is Craft and Chat, 1 p.m. Eastern Time today on my channel. It's well, actually, the link is on my channel. It is not a live presentation on YouTube. It's just a Zoom, and I don't record it, so no one ever sees it. But we always have a great bunch of people who show up for that. We work on whatever we want to work on. It's fun. It's supportive. If you've never done one, it's sort of like going to a little teeny mini retreat or a sow day kind of thing. And we run from 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern Time, and usually finishes up around 4:30 until I get bored with you. That's what I tell people, or whatever. So yeah, feel free to click on the link for that in the show notes. It won't be in this set of show notes. It'll be on any of my other show notes that have been up this week or last week. And if you can't find it, just drop me an email and I'll send it to you. And if you're already on my mailing list, you've already gotten it. So yeah. Yep. So lots of opportunities to have more fun.
Yes, definitely. And Kathleen Colville said, "Finish my first quadrant! Yay!
Yay! So people seem to be enjoying the sew along and everything. So we will talk later on. Of course, Stephanie also has regular sew alongs as well, so you can always join up with her too. I love doing this as well, but I got other projects I'm working on right now and some other ideas too. So I don't know how available I'm going to be immediately. Maybe in a month or two or something like that when I figure out some other things. But by all means, go to Stephanie's. She's got one every Saturday night, right?
Yeah, I've got a block of the week so long going on right now, and it's called my All Stars block of the week. It's all star quilt because a lot of people had asked me, they knew how much I love stars, kind of like Stephen. We both love star blocks. And they asked me if I could do a star block so long. So that's what I did. And they're free patterns. They're on my blog, which is on my website. And they're linked below every Saturday video, so you can go find them.
Yeah. So lots of opportunities. And I haven't done a pop-up sew day in a while. Usually those are on a Saturday, but usually I only give you about 24 hours notice about those because I never know when I'm doing them. And I'm going to have one sometime in February, not this Saturday coming up because I'm at a sew day, an in-person sew day on Saturday. So, but I'm thinking Valentine's Day. No, wait, not on Valentine's Day. I was thinking that was a Saturday. It's not. The 11th, February the 11th, which would be a week from this coming Saturday. Maybe. Stay tuned. I don't know yet for sure. I'll see. I'll get you all hyped up and tease about it, and then I don't produce. Yeah.
Now they can send you an email to get on a list for that notification too, right?
Yes, they can. Yep.
Yeah.
I have 3 mailing lists. One is for, of course, Craft and Chat. Another one's for the pop-up sew days. And the third one is for the retreat that I run twice a year. I haven't said much about the retreat for the spring because it's going to be a little later because Walter and I are going away in April. And Stephanie has a retreat she's going on at the 1st of April. And then we have Easter and everything. So April kind of is out of the picture for me to do the retreat. So I'm thinking it'll probably be, and this is just thinking, this isn't written in stone yet, it'll be the first Saturday in May. So a little advance notice. I'm pretty sure that's when it's going to be. But I will be sending out more information and talking about that in about probably sometime late February. I'll start talking about it and how you register for it. It's always absolutely free. It's done by Zoom, kind of a thing. It's not a YouTube live. It's Zoom, kind of like the Craft and Chats. And I usually have guest speakers as well to come on. And one of those guest speakers is going to be Stephanie. So, yeah. So, yeah, it's always fun. There are prizes. It's the only time I give prizes away on anything. So there will be prizes too and things like that. But again, more details about that will be coming out in February, but if you would like to be on that mailing list for the retreat, again, just send me your information, your name, your first and your last name, please. And please give me your real first and last name, not your pseudonym you might use on YouTube or whatever, because the reason for that is I'm not trying to pry into your private life, but it makes registering you so much easier. And first and last name, because I could have 4 Julies, okay, and I won't know
Yeah.
who is who, and that's important when it comes to the draws for prizes and everything. But all of those
Yeah.
details will be coming out soon in both here and in the mailing list as well. So stay tuned.
Awesome.
Okay, shall we let everybody go? Anything
Yeah,
else you want to
yeah.
say or anything?
No, thank you all for hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see your finishes. And thank you for sharing the pictures that you have so far. I love every single one of them. It's great seeing it in different fabrics. So thank you.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, thank you as well. I've had so much fun doing this, and we're not done yet. We have next week, don't forget. So,
Yeah.
so I guess I will say goodbye to everybody. So goodbye, everybody, and
Bye.
see you all soon.